Welcome to this specialized training on Cloudera Data Platform. While we often talk about data services like data warehouse or engineering, none of them function without a solid foundation. That foundation is the CDP data lake. In this session, we will explore what the data lake actually is, how it powers the shared data experience (SDX), and how to manage it within your cloud environment. Let's clarify a common misconception. In CDP, a data lake is not just an S3 bucket or an ADLS container. It is a long-running cluster of virtual machines that hosts critical infrastructure services. When you register a CDP environment, the data lake is automatically provisioned. Its primary job is to host the shared data experience, or SDX. This includes Apache Ranger for security policies, Apache Atlas for governance and lineage, and the Hive Metastore for schema definitions. Think of the data lake as the brain of your environment. Whether you spin up a transient data engineering cluster or a persistent data warehouse, they all connect back to this data lake to verify user permissions and access metadata. Without this running cluster, your data services cannot function. This diagram illustrates the hierarchy. The CDP environment acts as the container. Inside, it automatically provisions the data lake cluster. This cluster isn't empty. It contains the SDX components, Ranger for security, Atlas for governance, and the Hive Metastore. The dotted line at the bottom shows that all other data services you create later will depend on this central data lake for their operation. When deploying your data lake, you must choose a scale. For development or proof of concepts, you will likely choose light duty. This is a lean configuration that runs on just 2 virtual machine instances, one for the ID broker and one for the master services. However, for production workloads, you should select medium duty or enterprise. These shapes provision multiple VMs to ensure high availability, for the Hive Metastore and Ranger services, protecting you against single-node failures. Be careful with your choice, as moving from light duty to enterprise later involves a migration process, though resizing from medium to enterprise is supported. Here we see the decision tree for sizing. You start by selecting a scale. The light duty path leads to a 2 VM setup suitable for dev/test. The medium/enterprise path leads to a multi-VM high availability setup suitable for production. Notice the resize arrow, indicating that you can scale up within the enterprise tier to handle higher loads. One of the most critical services running on your data lake is the ID broker. In a cloud environment, you never want to distribute static AWS access keys or Azure secrets to hundreds of users. ID broker solves this by acting as a bridge. When a user runs a job, ID broker exchanges their internal CDP Kerberos identity for a temporary, scoped cloud token. You configure these mappings during setup, for example, mapping your data engineers group to a specific AWS IAM role that has read/write access to your S3 buckets. This ensures seamless, secure access to cloud storage without compromising security credentials. This sequence diagram details the secure handshake. The user job requests access from the ID broker running on the data lake. The ID broker validates the user and contacts the cloud IAM provider, AWS or Azure. The cloud provider returns temporary credentials. ID broker passes these back to the user job, which then uses them to directly read or write to cloud storage. The user never handles long-term keys. The data lake relies heavily on external cloud resources. During creation, you must define a storage location base. This is the bucket and path where the Hive warehouse directory will live. Distinct from this is the log storage location, used for archiving audit logs and service logs for troubleshooting. It is a best practice to set up lifecycle rules on your cloud provider to delete these logs after a set period, such as 7 days, to save costs. Additionally, the data lake automatically provisions an external relational database, like RDS or Azure Database for PostgreSQL, to store the persistent metadata for Hive and Ranger. Here we visualize the storage connections. The data lake cluster connects to 3 external endpoints. First, the external DB for metadata. Second, the storage base where your actual business data resides. Third, the log storage for audit logs. Note the dotted line to auto-cleanup rules. This is an external cloud configuration you should apply to keep your log storage costs under control. Maintaining your data lake is straightforward with CDP. You can upgrade the underlying operating system and the Cloudera runtime version to apply security patches and new features. We strongly recommend performing a dry run first using the CLI command CDP data lake upgrade data lake dry run to ensure your environment is ready. For major upgrades, the restore functionality allows you to recover from backups if needed. Additionally, if your metadata grows significantly, you can vertically scale the cluster by increasing the disk size of the instances without rebuilding the entire lake. This flow shows 2 common maintenance paths. On the left, the upgrade path emphasizes safety. Backup first, then dry run, then execute. On the right, the storage management path addresses disk full scenarios by using vertical scaling to modify disk size, ensuring your data lake keeps running smoothly as metadata grows. A powerful feature of the CDP data lake is Ranger REZ. Standard cloud IAM often only secures at the bucket level. Ranger RAZ allows you to enforce fine-grained Ranger policies down to specific folders or files directly on the Cloud Object Store. This means if a user tries to access a specific file in S3 or ATLS, the request is intercepted and validated against your Ranger policies. To enable this, you must configure a specific Ranger RAZ managed identity during environment creation and grant it ownership permissions on the storage container. This unifies your security posture across SQL and direct storage access. This diagram shows the RAZ interception path. A user request to access storage does not go straight to S3. It is intercepted by Ranger RAZ. RAZ performs a policy check against your defined security rules. If allowed, the user gets access to the S3 object. If denied, the request is blocked. This layer adds granular security on top of the coarse-grained cloud provider IAM. Finally, let's look at how to automate this. While you can use the UI, the CDP CLI is best for reproducible deployments. You use the create AWS data lake, or Azure/GCP equivalent command. You must pass the cloud provider configuration argument to link the instance profile and storage bucket we discussed earlier. Crucially, you define the infrastructure size here using the scale parameter, choosing between light duty or medium duty HA. If you need the granular security we just covered, simply add the enable Ranger as flag to the command. This flowchart breaks down the CLI command structure. The core command is create data lake. It branches into 3 critical parameters: scale, which determines if you deploy light duty; cloud provider config, which links your instance profile and bucket; and enable Ranger as, which activates enhanced security. Combining these flags allows for a fully automated, secure deployment.
Welcome to quicktechie.com. So just type in quicktechie.com here. Then you can go through the material which is provided by Quicktechie. So we have first of all video courses which you can go here and you can find the various video courses across the technologies as well as finance domain. So if you see in Microsoft, we have 8 programs currently running. Next, you can go through the ebooks available. So all the ebooks which are in PDF format today, and you can download this. So let me go through Microsoft certification ebooks. You can click on any of this and you can see this is the PDF available for you to download. So these are the premium ebook mostly available on quicktechie.com platform only. Now the second part is exam simulator. As we primarily focus on the all technology companies and finance domain certification preparation material, so this is company wide listed here and you can go through this. So let me go through the Microsoft one again. You can see these are all Microsoft related certification. AB 730 exam, if you open it, so you can see here this, and all the practice papers are available here. Today we have 5 practice paper. So click on the first practice paper. It would load the questions. You can answer this question. This is way you can answer it and you can move to the next question. Now third material we wanted to highlight is an audiobook. So we started recently with the audiobooks as well, which you can listen on the go, and various technology wise ebooks are available. And at the last, this is our alumni. These people who are subscribing to our courses and this platform, they are all listed here. And at the end, I wanted to tell you, if you find any course or training or certification preparation material which you want to get us prepare for yourself, please put on the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, on Udemy, or on this platform itself, quicktechie.com, then please put the comment, or you can even send an email to using this contact us options here. You can directly do the WhatsApp message. You can call us on this numbers as well.